This one's called Sofia Valdez, Future Prez.
That's right.
I know, Valdez and Prez. The last part of the words sound the same, so it rhymes. Prez is for president.
President.
By Andrea Beatty.
Andrea Beatty?
Sofia was a baby who got things done, helping her family before she turned one.
What?
She and Abuelo went out every week to help elderly friends around Blue River Creek who couldn't get out and about on their own, and with no place to gather, were stuck home alone. Raking the leaves, taking pets for a walk, or just dropping by for a treat and a talk. Sofia Valdez did as much as she could for her family and friends and her whole neighborhood. A dreamer, a doer, a real-life go-getter. Most people like good, but Sofia liked better. Each morning, Abuelo walked Sophie to class. They walked home again along Blue River Pass, making plans, munching cookies, Abuelo and girl. Except for that Tuesday when Pup saw a squirrel. With a howl, Pup took off, racing all through the town, over, under, beneath, and around. Sophia scrambled to try to keep up with the hollering man and the bellowing Pup. Whew, that's wild. Up the squirrel ran to the top of a hill made of leftover junk for the local landfill. They reached the tip-top of that mountain of trash, which jiggled and broke with an ear-splitting crash.
What? Ear-splitting? What?
Down they all tumbled and hit with a thud on a moldy old pumpkin surrounded by mud. Ouch! Cried Abuelo. He struggled to stand. A dangerous mess, he said, grasping her hand.
Oh, I see.
Oh, yeah. Her knees?
Yeah.
Just like your knee got skinned
Yeah.
when you fell down on the concrete.
Yeah, on the ground.
Concrete. The next day, Sofia walked back to school solo, but it wasn't the same without her abuelo. This is not right, declared young Sofia, who glared at Mount Trashmore and got an idea. What was that, Elijah?
Look, a Rubik's Cube.
A Rubik's Cube, yeah. You have Rubik's Cube radar. You can spot it from a mile away. The very next morning, at dawn, she planted a sign at the front of the lawn. She stood back and smiled, and Pup gave a bark. Get rid of Mount Trashmore. Let's build a new park. Each of her neighbors had something to say about benches and fountains and places to play. Meeting spots, gardens, a basket for bees, a rubber duck pond, and a kiosk for cheese. She drew every thought on her map of the park, which was perfectly perfect by a quarter till dark. They all have ideas about how to improve their neighborhood and their community. And they're coming together and they're telling Sophie their ideas. And she's writing them down. She drifted to sleep in her soft, cozy bed. Then, bam! She woke up with a thought smacked her head. When a thought smacked her head, her heart skipped a beat as she realized each one of her neighbors had said, "Let me know when it's done." They all thought Sofia could build it alone. But how could one girl do so much on her own? The weight of that thought made her tender heart ache as night thunder growled and she lay wide awake. Then dawn brought a storm and the gloomy sky wept and the heartsick Sofia finally slept. Abuelo baked cookies when Sophie got up. He gave her a bagful and sneaked one to Pop. He blinked back a tear as he hugged his Sophia. For courage, he whispered. Te amo, mi vida. Sophia's knees wobbled. She felt weak inside. She looked at his ankle and quite nearly cried. Though she didn't feel brave or courageous at all, Sofia Valdez went to face City Hall. Ooh, City Hall. Remember when we went to City Hall?
Yeah.
In Carlsbad? Because we wanted to make our neighborhood safer?
Yeah.
It's right next to the library, too, just like ours. The mayor's office sent her to room 401, the Blue River Creek Department of Fun, which sent her downstairs to room 302, the office of duck ponds and cool things to do. To the office of monkeys, the Department of Cheese, the Division of Fountains and Meetings and Bees, then down to the basement, so musty and cramped, where all the town's papers were sorted and stamped. And that's where the clerk said what no one else did. You can't build a new park. You're only a kid. Look at her, she's skeptical.
Why?
Because she thinks Sophia cannot do it because she's just a kid.
Oh. And where's her legs and hands?
It's just down here off the page. She did not take Sophie seriously. The word smacked Sophia deep down in her heart. Her plan was kiboshed before it could start. I don't know what that word is. Kiboshed. Kiboshed. Kiboshed before it could start. I think, said Sophia, I think that law's wrong. But her second grade voice didn't sound very strong. The clerk said clearly it cannot be done. Do you have any questions? Sophia said. One? If you were me, and if I was you, and if he was your grandpa, what would you do? Well, said the clerk. Then she said nothing at all. She thought and she thought, then she sent out a call to every employee throughout City Hall. The entire government of Blue River Creek crammed into the office to hear Sophie speak. But her words jumped up and her cheeks turned bright red as a dozen emotions rushed into her head. Her heart beat so loudly she thought it would crack. The crowd leaned in closer. Sophia leaned back.
Why?
Then her arm brushed the edge of the old cookie sack. And that was the moment when Sophia first knew being brave means doing the thing you must do. Through your heart cracks with fear. Though your heart cracks with fear, though you're just in grade 2. So she felt convicted to do the right thing, even though she was just a girl in grade 2.
Oh.
A kid in grade 2. She took a deep breath, looked the mayor in the eye, and though her knees wobbled, she held her head high. Sophia started talking. She spelled out her plan, and why it all mattered, and how it began. And once she got rolling, she had lots to say about meetings, spots, monkeys, and places to play. And other ideas for things they could do to help the town elders and other folks too. She had thoughts on the library, thoughts on the zoo, and perhaps a way to combine the two. And all right, cried the mayor, go start a petition. If the town wants a new park, we'll form a commission. And so young Sophia got right to work with some help from her family and Pup and the clerk. Hey, the clerk changed her heart and she decided to help Sophia.
Oh.
A petition is when they approach people and they tell them what they want to do with the community, and then they get each person to sign the petition, and if enough people agree with that petition, then they can consider doing some changes. Then others joined in, not all, but a few, like Miss Lila Greer and the kids in grade 2. Hey! Iggy Peck Architect! Excuse me? What's her name?
Rosie Revere.
Rosie Revere Engineer. Yes.
Where
They're all in the same class. Oh,
Yeah.
this is Rosie Revere. That's Rosie Revere.
Oh,
Yeah.
that is Rosie Revere.
Uh-huh. You seen anyone else? I know her. I forgot what her name is, but we have that book. Sofia Valdez. There were hearings and surveys and taxes to figure, then bulldozers, cranes,
What?
and a blue bigger digger. They
What
all
is this? A gooey shrimp?
they all built that park. That's how it got done, with the hard work of by or for everyone. But it began with a dream of one person, just one, who laced up her shoes and then led the way to help Blue River Creek get a new place to play.
Yeah.
I know, they're in the crane. Now every evening, long after dark, the town comes together at Citizens Park. They all hold this truth to be self-evident, that Sofia Valdez could grow up to be president. Until then, Sofia, that real-life go-getter, helps Blue River Creek get better and better. What is that?
Huh?
I think that might be like a sculpture, because it has like a plinth underneath it.
Yeah,
to hold it
I
up.
think that's a gooey thing.
Oh, you think that's gooey? It could be gooey. It could be hard as well. And some people have some ideas for welcoming people in the neighborhood with bird houses, plants. And look, Sofia is managing.
Who's managing?
She has the plan, and she is making sure that the plan is going according to the way that they intended.
Oh.
Citizens Park. The
Daddy,
end.
I